Hello students, in last class we have discussed regarding enzymatic activity, how does the enzyme acts as a catalyst in the biological process. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss a new concept in surface chemistry, children. So during 1861 there was a scientist, Scottish scientist, his name Graham. Has categorized the substance into two categories. Majorly he categorized the substance into two categories. The first one is crystalloid, and the second one is colloid. I think you are aware of this crystalloid. I think you come across this crystalloid. So in primary classes also you have studied the crystals. What do you mean by crystal? So that crystal nature, everything you have studied. Okay. So whereas in case of colloid, okay, he has considered two substances into two categories, and he made a solution of the crystalloid, and he took two substances, a substance A and substance B, okay, and he made the solution of this A and B. And what he has done, he took a parchment membrane, okay, he took a parchment membrane. This is parchment membrane. So parchment membrane means this is an untanned skin of animal. Okay, animal untanned skin. He has taken that skin and he passed both the solution through this membrane. Whenever he passed the solution A through this membrane, and the solute particles, okay, whatever the solute particles which will be there in the solution, they are not passed through they are passed through the membrane. So the solution A particles, they pass through the membrane. Okay, then whereas in case of solution B, when he passed the solution B through this membrane, but those particles, they will not pass through the membrane. Okay, so then he considered the solution or the solute particles which have passed through the membrane, he called as crystalloid. Whatever the solution, it does not pass through the membrane, so then he called as colloid. Okay, so the membrane, on the basis of the particle size, the solute particle size, he considered the substance into two categories. One is crystalloid, another one is colloid. Okay, so let us study about these colloids. See, if you consider a solution into three types, that is, the first one is true solution, and the second one is suspension. In between these two, there is another one, kind of solution that is called as colloid. Okay, colloid. So for this, we shall conduct one small experiment. Okay, so activity. So I have taken here the table salt. Okay, the cooking salt, table salt I have taken. I am going to add water for this. See, when I added the water, then what happens? The solution has prepared, and how does it appear? It is clear. Okay, the solute particle which is having the solvent, the solution which is having solvent and solute. Okay, the solute, it has dissolved in the solvent media. Then what happens? It forms solution. Okay, so it appears to be clear. Okay, this is a clear solution. Okay, then it is called as true solution. Okay, the clear solution, we can call it as true solution. See here, it is transparent, it is clear solution. Okay, so in another beaker I am going to take a soil particle. Okay, soil. See here, you are seeing the colored water or colored solution. In this, now it is colored in nature. Okay, you keep on, sometimes what happens, the molecules which are moving here and there, they will settle down. After sometimes what happens, after that they will settle down, they will suspend down at the bottom of the beaker. Okay, so like that, if you keep like this, what happens, the molecules will settle down. Okay, this is called as suspension. The molecule will suspend. Okay, so they will suspend at the bottom of the beaker. After that, it will appears to be clear, bit clear. Okay, but the color will be the same like this. Okay, so this is suspension. But another one we shall take. This one, starch powder. Okay, starch powder or corn flour, anyone you can take. See, now if you see this solution, the molecules, it is moving here and there, but it is not a clear solution. There is no suspension. Okay, so it is in between that true solution and the suspension. This is called colloid. Okay, this is called colloid. See the difference between three. Okay, this is clear solution. Okay, because it is transferring to that side. See, and whereas in case of here there is no clearance. Okay, and this is suspension. See here. And the molecules is suspended at the bottom. You are clearly observing that the sand particle or the salt particles, they will suspend at the bottom. Okay. So on the basis of the particle size, we can classify the solutions into the true solution, colloidal solution, and suspension. Okay. In this way. Okay. So let us classify or categorize in a different ways. Okay. The first one, particle size. Particle size. On the basis of that particle size, so what is the size of these three solution particles? That is, for example, in true solution, it is less than 1 nanometer. The particle size will be less than 1 nanometer. Whereas in case of suspension, it is 1000 nanometer, above 1000 nanometer. Okay, but the colloid, it is present in between these two, that is from 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So this is on the basis of the particle size of a solution. Okay, below that, that is 10 to the power of minus 9. Okay, so the 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. So that is true solution. Okay, the particle size is very small. Okay, smallest. Then the colloidal solution, it is in between suspension and true solution molecules. So the size, we can call it as colloids. Okay, the next one is visibility. Visibility. See, this true solution, can you separate the solid salt and solvent molecules from this? No, we can't able to. Can you see this? We can't able to see this. Okay, because see, whenever the salt molecules it is dissolved inside of this, what happens? It will dissociate into Na plus and Cl minus. We can't able to see through our naked eye or else microscope. So it is not possible. Okay, so that's why it is a it cannot be visible through microscope. But whereas in some colloidal solution, see here, we are seeing the colloidal solution, we can see through the microscope. So can be visible through microscope. Visible through microscope. Okay. But whereas in case of suspension, see here, it will be visible through naked eye itself. Okay. So that's why it is visible through naked eye. Okay, so now we can classify, so we can differentiate the solute and solvent particle in this. We can easily visible the whatever the solute particles which are dissolved in the solution. Okay, so let us see that next categories, that is in another way, that is nature. What is the nature? The true solution, it is homogeneous in nature. See, it is clear solution. That's why it is homogeneous in nature. Whereas in case of colloids, it is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. This is also absolutely it is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. Okay. And the next one is filtrate. Filtration. Filtration. So this, can we filter this? Is it possible to filter the true solution? No, we can't able to filter. So that's why it cannot be filtered through filter paper. It cannot be filtered. That's enough. Okay, but this one it can be filtered. It can be filtered. Can be filtered through membrane or filter paper. Membrane or filter paper. So this can be filtered. Can be filtered through a filter paper. Through filter paper. See, if you consider the particle size, the true solution is having a smallest size. Okay, but whereas in case of colloid, it is present in between suspension and true solution. Suspension, it is clearly visible. Okay, so visibility, if you come to that, it cannot be visible through under microscope. But here we can see through the microscope, it is visible to naked eye. Then the nature of this true solution is homogeneous. Homogeneous in nature, but it is heterogeneous. This one also heterogeneous. Whereas in case of filtration, if you come to the filtration, it cannot be filtered because it is homogeneous in nature. But whereas in case of colloid, it can be filtered through membrane. Okay. Next one is suspension. It can be also filtered by filter paper. Okay. The last property, that is last way of calculation, that is settling under gravity. Fifth one, settling under gravity. Settling under gravity. See, this cannot be settled under the gravity. Okay, so it cannot be settled. Cannot be settled. See, is there any settlement here in this? No, there is no settlement. Okay, so that's why it cannot be settled. Okay, but whereas in case of colloids, it can be settled. Can be settled by centrifugation. Centrifugation. See, centrifugation means there will be a centrifugation chamber. Inside of that, they will rotate the solution or the colloidal solution very fast movement. Okay. By the time what happens, the suspension it will take place at the bottom of the tube, and the clear solution it will be at the upper side. Okay. That is called centrifugation. Very good example. I think you know there will be a, we can convert the this one curd buttermilk into butter. Okay, by the time we will what to say that centrifugation method. So we will do the centrifugation method. By the time what happens, the butter it will be formed. Okay, so that is called centrifugation way. So in that way we can settle the colloidal solution. Whereas in case of suspension, it is easily settled at the bottom. Settled at the bottom. Okay, so it will easily settle at the bottom. So in this way, we can categorize the solution into true solution and the colloidal solution and suspension. Okay, so in your syllabus, we shall discuss the colloids. Okay, so suspension and true solution. True solutions we already studied that, and the suspension it is no need to study because it is the property it is easily understand. But whereas in case of colloids, it is new concept we shall discuss regarding the colloids. Okay. So let us go for the definition of colloid. See, what are colloids then? See, these colloids are nothing but heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture. Before going to that, we shall discuss one thing. Consider this is a beaker. I have taken water in this. This is a solvent. Okay. I'm going to add a spoon of salt. Okay, a spoon of salt I am going to add to this. Okay, this is solute. Okay, but here the amount of solvent is more as compared to solute. Okay, so this solute percentage is less compared to solvent in this solution. Okay, but the ability of the solute it can be dissolving. It is in the solvent when the solvent percentage should be more. When the solvent percentage should be more, by the time what happens, the solute starts to dissolve very easily. Okay, so in the same way, in colloids also, the solute particle, it is whenever it is dissolved in this, what happens? It distribute in the sense disperse inside of the solvent molecule. Okay, the solvent inside of the solvent molecule, the solute particles will be dispersed. See, so then the solvent molecules is having the ability to disperse the solute molecule. Okay, so in the same thing, the solute is dispersed inside of the solvent. The same thing in the colloid we can consider. This is the medium solvent molecule, we can call it as, that is solvent portion, we can call it as dispersion phase. Dispersion phase or dispersion medium. Dispersion medium. This is called dispersion medium. Whereas in case of solute molecule, it dispersed inside of the solvent. This is called dispersed phase. Dispersed phase. Okay, so that is nothing but the solute and solvent. The dispersed medium we can consider as a solvent, and the dispersed phase we can consider as a solute. For example, this room, it consists of air. Air, it is a larger amount. I am going to add this duster particles inside of that air. What happens? That is dispersing inside in the air media. Okay, so the amount of air is more, whereas in case of the duster particles it is less. So then what happens? The dispersion media will be air, and the dispersed phase will be the chalk piece powder particles. Okay, so in this way the colloids, it is having two media, that one is dispersion medium and dispersion phase. Okay. See, let us consider the study about the definition of colloid. Okay, so the colloid is a heterogeneous mixture. In which fine particles in which the substance, one kind of a substance, or else we can write in which fine particles, very fine particles, then size will be 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. Very fine particles are dispersed in another substance. Okay, so it is a heterogeneous mixture in which very fine particles are dispersed in another substance. Whereas in case of here, the very fine particles we can call as dispersed phase. This is a dispersed phase. Okay. In another substance is dispersed media. In another substance called, or else another substance dispersion medium called colloid. Okay. So here it is a heterogeneous mixture. For example, if you are considering, take the same here. Just now we have studied observed that starch powder added in the water. Okay. So here dispersed phase, one substance, very fine particles of one substance, that is starch powder. Okay. So it is a very fine particles in between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So it is dispersing in the another substance, that is called as dispersion media, that is water. Okay. So here the water is the dispersion media and the starch powder is a dispersed phase. So that's why it is heterogeneous mixture. Okay. So this is about the definition of colloids. Example, you can take anyone. Okay. So that is oil in water, starch powder in water. Okay. Milk. Okay, so butter, cheese, everything, it is an example for colloids. Okay. So let us classify the classification of colloid. Let us go for the classification of colloid. See, this classification is based on there are 4 types we have to classify the colloids. In that, let us go for the first one. Classification is based on the physical state of dispersion medium and dispersed phase. So the physical state, on the basis of physical state, we shall classify the colloids into 3 categories. So based on that, let us go for the first one. We shall consider dispersed phase. This is, and this is dispersed media. Let us shortly can write dispersed. DP is dispersed phase and dispersed medium, and the name of the colloid, and then example. Okay. The first one, dispersion phase, we shall consider a solid. Okay. Next, dispersed phase is solid. Next also solid. Then solid. Okay. Dispersion media is also solid. Then liquid. Then gas. Okay. So the dispersed phase, it is going to be dispersing in the dispersion media. Okay. So solid in solid. Okay. The name of the colloid, you can call it as solid Zol. Okay. So Zol, in the sense, Zol is nothing but colloid. Colloids are also called as Zol. Okay. Solid in solid. Example, dispersion phase should be solid. Dispersion medium should be solid. Have observed the colored glass? Colored glass and gemstone. You might have observed some of the lockets. It is having a small kind of stones. Inside of that, the stone, it is colored in nature. Okay. On the outer surface, it assumes to be glass. But inside of that, what happened? There will be color. Okay. So that is solid in solid. Okay. Colored glass is also example. Next, solid in liquid. Solid should be dispersing in the liquid. Okay. Example, sorry, this one called as Zol or else liquid Zol. Example for this, paint. See, paint in a sense, you can take very good example, distemper paint. Before going to make a paint, what happens? In the packet, it will be in the solid form. After that, what we'll do? We'll take the paint outside of the packet and we'll dissolve in a water. Then it will become liquid like paint. Okay. So that is solid in liquid. Solid is going to be dispersing in a liquid. Then it is called as liquid Zol or as Zol. Paint or cell fluid. Cell fluid. It is having cell fluid is having solid distribution inside dispersion inside the liquid. Okay. Then solid in gas. Solid should be dispersing in the gas. Very good example. This one you can call it as aerosol. Aerosol. Or else you can call solid aerosol. 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 So this aerosol example, smoke and volcanic eruption or volcanic smoke, volcanic dust. Okay, or else dust. See, I'm adding this chalk piece powder inside of this A. Okay, what happened? The solid particles it is dispersing in the A. So that is called as solid in gas. That is aerosol. Solid aerosol. Example: smoke or volcanic dust or else dust. So this is about one type. Okay. So let us go for the next one. That is liquid. Liquid. And the dispersion media is solid. Liquid in solid. Okay. So the liquid is dispersing in the solid. This one you can call it as gel. What you call for that? Gel. Example: your butter, cheese. So curd. Say, if you consider this liquid in solid, take a butter. If you open that, then there will be a small liquid percentage it will be appear, or else liquid it appears. So then it is called as gel. Okay, the heavy mass butter is solid. Inside of that, liquid portion will be there. So liquid it is dispersing in the solid. Then it is called as gel. Example: butter, cheese, curd. Okay. So next one, same liquid. It is dispersing in the liquid. Liquid in liquid. This is called as emulsion. Emulsion. See, emulsion. This emulsion, very good example for this is milk. Milk. Okay. Oil in water. Oil in water. Milk, oil in water. Milk is the liquid dispersing in liquid. That is called emulsion. Or else you add oil in the water, what happens? The oil will be dispersing in the water. Then what happens? There will be separation, but it should be heterogeneous. Okay, we can categorize into layers. Okay, so the oil it is not dissolving in the water. Then it is called as liquid in liquid. Okay, that is called as emulsion. Okay, next one, that is liquid in gas. Okay, liquid in gas. This one is called aerosol. Aerosol also. Okay, so liquid in gas is also aerosol. Example for this, it is fog, mist. Okay, or else perfume spray, perfume spray. For example, your perfume. If you spray inside the air, what happens? The perfume smell, it will be dispersing. Okay, so that is called liquid in gas. Okay, liquid in gas. You should observe here, whatever the dispersive media we have considered here, all the dispersive media which is having bulk in nature, the percentage of the dispersive media is more than the dispersion phase. In the solution, if you consider in the solution, dispersion media acts like a solvent. Okay, dispersive phase is acts like a solute. Okay, solute in solvent, it forms a solution like that. Okay, but here it is solid in solid, solid in liquid, solid in gas, liquid solid, liquid gas. Okay, this is about the dispersion phase and dispersion media, what to call for that name and the example. The last one is for that gas. Gas is the Dispersion phase is gas. Dispersion media is solid. Okay, this is called solid aerosol, or else we can call it as, this one you can call it as gas in solid. It is solid foam. Solid foam. Okay, example for this, leather or else rubber foam. Rubber foam is the example. Okay, next one, gas in liquid. Gas in liquid. See, if you pass the gas in soap water, what happens? The lather will be formed. Okay, so lather will be formed. Then it is called as foam. Foam. Example, shaving cream. Shaving cream. Okay, and foam. Then lather. Okay, so lather. Lather. So all these things are the example for, that is gas in liquid. Okay, but this is about the based on physical state we can categorize the colloids. Okay, but I have not considered gas in gas. Gas in gas, the colloids will be not taken place. Why? Because the gas in gas is homogeneous. Gas in gas is homogeneous. But what is the definition for colloids? It should be heterogeneous. That's why gas in gas should not be taken place. It will not form any colloids. Okay. So this is about one type of categories based on the physical state. Okay. So don't get confusion. It is very important. Okay. So you should concentrate on all the things. So it will be easily memorable. Okay. The first one is solid. Okay. Solid, liquid, like that. Examples and the name of the colloid you should be remembered. Okay, so this is about one type of classification. So in the next class we shall discuss the next type of classification based on the particle size of the dispersed phase. Okay, so go through all these things in your textbook, read well. Okay, thank you children.